Hi, my name is Isabel Friedlander, and I survived bacterial meningitis when I was 17. I love going out, I love shopping, I'm outgoing. I'm also a workaholic, which is bad sometimes. So it was the end of February and I was on school vacation. My foot started hurting. It was kind of abnormal, but I really didn't pay attention to it. I was at work for maybe 2 hours when I realized something was wrong because I was in an 80-degree room and I was drinking hot water. I was super cold as my coworker was next to me sweating. I had also had a migraine. We checked my temperature, it was 104. I couldn't walk anymore, so that's when I called my mom to come pick me up. She wanted me to go to the hospital. I said no, and I thought I could just sleep it off. I woke up that next morning after an hour's sleep. I ended up calling my mom to bring me to the pediatric doctor, who immediately said I had to go to the emergency room. It was around 10 o'clock in the morning when I got there. As more doctors came in, they came in with more protective gear on. They started with gloves, then it went to masks, then it went to the full body suit, and finally face shields. Finally, the doctors told my mom what my diagnosis was. She told me that I was bacterial meningitis, and I asked her what that was, and she said, "I'm not going to tell you until you get home because I don't want you to think of what might happen to you." I was in the hospital for the next week. After that, I went home for 2. When I got home, I still couldn't walk because the bottom of my foot was dead, and I didn't like that because me being an independent person, I need to do things on my own, and being wheeled around in a wheelchair wasn't helping that at all. And I didn't want to hang out with anyone. I didn't want to see my friends. I just wanted to be by myself for a while because I just didn't feel like myself. Coming from a small state, I had never heard of any local cases of bacterial meningitis, even though I had already been vaccinated for MenACWY strains of it. I also didn't know that there was a new vaccine that would have protected me against serogroup B. Vermont didn't have a lot of information about bacterial meningitis, so I contacted the CDC to see if they had any and how I could help as well, and they ended up giving me the National Meningitis Association's contact info. When I first spoke to Lynn, the president of the NMA, I was taken aback by how much me and her son, Evan, had in common. Evan died from bacterial meningitis. He and I were both born on the same day, 20 years apart, and both of our families didn't have the information that we should have when we contracted the disease. Get educated, get vaccinated. For more information, please visit MenACWY.org.